It's James here from GoodGuitarist.com, and in today's lesson, I'm going to show you how to play On the Road Again by Willie Nelson. Now, in this lesson, I'm going to show you the easy way to play it using a capo at the 4th fret. In another lesson, I'm going to show you how to play it the authentic way, without a capo, using a bunch of bar chords and stuff, but that's how they would actually play it. This way is a little bit simplified, but it has the same chord qualities and everything. You can sing along to it and it sounds just like the song. The only difference is it's not exactly how Willie Nelson and his band, how they play it. Anyways, this one's going to be super basic, just some chord shapes and a strumming pattern. The only challenge with it is the sheer speed of it all. And along the way, if you find that you need any extra help with this stuff, like if you're still kind of working on the basic chord shapes and switching, or maybe getting your rhythm together, I do have a complete beginner's guitar course that targets a lot of areas that you might have missed. There's a lot of strategies, a lot of learning strategies for putting that stuff together. It's not just like, let's do this. It's more like this is step by step how we can build up the skill set to be able to do a song like this. Anyways, check that out, or my free ebook if you need any extra help. To play along with the original recording, you're gonna have to put a capo on the 4th fret. But for the sake of this lesson, I'm actually gonna remove my capo. The first chord shape we'll need is a C chord. Then we have an E7 chord, and that's just like an E chord, except we take off our ring finger. Gives it a nice country, bluesy feel. And if you notice, when we're switching from C to E7, it's actually really easy. Starting off on our C chord, we can just remove this finger, and then take these two fingers and just move them up that way. And that's your E7. So I would recommend practicing that until you got it, down really nicely. Then we have a D minor chord. And going from E7 to D minor, once again, we can keep these two fingers in that same configuration. We're just gonna move over 1, 2 times, and then we can just plug the hole here, at the 3rd fret of the B string with either our ring finger or our pinky. I like using my pinky. That's the way I learned it, and I like doing it that way. Then we have F, and we're gonna do an easy F chord. So for this one, we skip a string, 1st fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret with our pinky, and then 3rd fret with our ring finger. And I'm gonna put my thumb lightly touching the thickest string to mute it. Coming from D minor, we can leave our middle finger down and just pivot off of it. See, just pivot off that finger. Just try that a few times. Once again, if you need to. Then we have a G chord. And coming from the easy F, all you have to do is just spread that finger there, that finger there. And after this, we're going back to the start, back to a C chord. So it's a really easy switch back to C from this version of G. So I just take these two fingers and I just move them that way. And then I finish the C shape. So just try that a little bit. You're totally welcome to play G this way. If you're more comfortable with that, by all means. But I find, the more I play guitar and the more I've learned about guitar, every way to play the G chord or to play whatever chord is gonna have its own uses depending on the context. And in this context, between an F chord and a C chord, this version of G works out because it doesn't require me to rotate my entire hand back and forth between those shapes. But it's up to you, whatever you're the most comfortable with. Anyways, now that we have the chord shapes, let's work out the chord order. We're just gonna strum our chords in order using downstrokes only, counting out loud so that we can do each chord for the right number of times. Starting off on C, 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch to E7. 4 measures of this. So we're counting to 4 times. 3, that's 2 times. 3, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, back to the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Now, when we're trying to keep track of the chords that way, you know, how long to play each chord for, it can be a bit tricky at first, and you could just do it a whole bunch of times till you memorize it, and that's a great method. But another way to make it a little bit easier is to add a bit of a visual element. You know, give yourself something to look at for the first few times, and then take it away and see if you can remember it after that. Now, I'm going to show you how to do this yourself, and honestly, this only takes like 10 seconds. All you need is a tiny piece of paper and a pencil. We're not going to be transcribing and writing out a whole bunch of sheet music. We're just going to really quickly write out each chord and how many times we have to play it. So we started off with a C chord, and then we end up doing that 4 times. So I'm just going to put a percent for every extra C chord. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. Then we have E7, same deal. And that's it. You know, that's the entire chord progression. You don't have to write it out with a bunch of bar lines and all this fancy stuff. Just put it in like a grid, you know, make it a nice pleasing shape. We do C for 4 measures, E7 for 4 measures, 2 measures of D minor, 1, 1, 2, and then we repeat the whole thing. You know, and that's a really simple way to write out the tune. Cool, so now that we have the chord order down, let's take a look at the strumming pattern. It goes like this. I'll play it really slowly. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All I'm doing there is down, down, miss, up, down, up. Let's just break it down. First half is like super simple. We're just playing 2 downstrokes. 1, 2. That's it, you know, so just count aloud. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Downstroke on 1, downstroke on 2. That's it. Super simple. Now, the second half, a little bit trickier. We're starting off with a miss, and that's where we just miss the strings on a downstroke. So we're just doing a downstroke, but we're missing all the strings. Then we go up, down, up. So let's just try that as one motion. Miss, up, down, up. Again, 1 and 2. And miss, up, down, up. Again, 1 and 2, and miss, up, down, up. When you put those 2 halves together, 3 and 4, and 1 and 2, and miss, up, down, up. 1 and 2, and miss, up, down, up, down, down, miss, up, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So take your time with this one. If it's giving you trouble, just practice it over each chord shape. And don't forget, I do have my premium beginners course, which does help you out with all this stuff. You know, we start off with like clapping exercises and all these things meant to build up your rhythm from scratch. You know, so if you find that you're having a lot of trouble with rhythm, I do have a method that kind of helps you out of that. Either way, once you're ready, we can put those chords together with the strumming pattern. Let's try this out super duper slowly. Starting off on C, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the majority of the song. There's only one other section, and there's no new chord shapes here, just a different chord order. Let's take a look at it first. So you can see here I've written it down the same way that I did with the last one. We're just going to play F for 4 measures. We're going to play C for 2 measures, F for 4 measures, C for 2 measures. That's really simple, just the same thing. And then we play G for 1 measure, and then we play it again, but here, see, I've kind of like broken it down. We only play it on beat 1, and then beats 2, 3, and 4, we're just counting. You know, those are just rests. G, 2, 3, 4. So let's just try this together, and you'll see what I mean. You know, you can always come back to this and take a look at it. I recommend writing this down now, the same way that I did. This whole thing, that's the whole song. Anyways, we're gonna try this one. Nice and slow. Try the B section here, starting off on that F chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then gypsies, we go down the highway. The best of friends, insisting song over again. So yeah, at that very end, I'll just do it one more time. We strum the G chord normally once. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. Rest, rest, rest. You know, just try that a little bit if it's giving you trouble. That's called a stop when you do that in music, because you're just like, you stop playing, right? And really, really straightforward. It's in a billion songs. Very, very useful to learn how to do that. Anyways, that's the bulk of the song. You know, there's 2 sections. Those are it. The only other thing we gotta figure out is the very ending, where they tag the ending. And all that's happening there is they just take like the very end of the first section and just play it a few times over. So, you know, we're playing our first section, blah, 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 on the C chord, then we get to the E chord, and then here when we get to F. That part. I can't wait to get on the road again. So see, I just kind of went F, G, C. They do that 3 times, and that's how they end the song. It's called a tag, and it's super simple. You just take like the chords that you're already playing, just chop off the last little bit, and then just repeat it a few times. Done. So now at this point, you would be ready to play along with the original recording. All you gotta do is put a capo at the 4th fret, but keep in mind the original recording is super duper fast. So you might have to slow it down. You can always do that with the little gear icon on YouTube if you're playing along with a YouTube music video of it. But if you don't have a capo, I'm just gonna do a little play along for you to play along with, where I'm gonna play through a bit of the tune, you know, and we're gonna try to go through it just so you get a chance to play along with it nice and slow. Here we go, starting off on C. 1, 2, 3, 4. Road again. I just can't wait to get on the road again. Kind of making music with my friends. I can't wait to get on the road again. Again, repeating this So that is how you can play On the Road Again by Willie Nelson using some really easy chord shapes. If you're interested in doing it using some bar chords and, you know, kind of moving forward with that kind of stuff, I do have a lesson, or I will have a lesson, I don't know if I've released it yet, where we do play it with bar chords, and it would be just like how Willie Nelson would himself play the song. Other than that, I hope you have a fun time practicing. Don't forget, if you get stuck or you get frustrated, check out my resources. I have a whole bunch. They're all down below in the description. Otherwise, I'll see you soon.